Hello everyone and welcome to our second Facebook Live. So today we're going to talk in honor of World Health Day. So once again, my name is Ben Lieber. I'm the manager of physical activity here at This Is Helpful.
I'm Heather Verbanek. I'm a registered occupational therapist and I'm the coordinator of our OT, occupational therapy services, and our mental hygiene department.
I'm Lisa Mees. I'm a practical nurse and I'm the senior coordinator of Healing Health.
So as we said, we want to find out what health means to you. So a couple questions on the board. So if you're just tuning in, feel free to comment below and let us know what health means to you and what do you do to be healthy. At This Is Helpful, we work on the 4 pillars of health. So physical activity, essential eating, healthy habits, and mental hygiene. So we'll each kind of discuss those and how it relates to health. So me being the manager of physical activity, obviously I deal with being active and exercise. So if you saw my video I did last week, the benefits of exercise are endless. You are never simply affecting and benefiting one aspect of your health. It's all aspects of health each time, whether it's managing blood sugar, cholesterol, bone density, anxiety, depression, all aspects of health. Physical activity helps. And you have to remember, it's not always about just going to the gym for an hour. You can go for a light walk. You can go for a swim. You can go to the gym, obviously, that's one as well, but you also can do your exercise and your activity in segments of 10 minutes. Whether it's 10 minutes in the morning, lunch hour, and night, that's 30 minutes in the day, and the health benefits will be there. And don't forget that physical activity also can be household chores, it can be gardening, it's a lot of your daily tasks as well, and the whole point of being active is to make those daily tasks that much easier.
Yeah, and as an occupational therapist, my role and my discipline really can fall under all of our pillars of health, so physical activity, essential eating, healthy habits, and mental hygiene. Occupational therapy really focuses on balance and trying to make sure that somebody is participating in all aspects of their daily life, regardless of any limitations that they might be experiencing. So people could experience limitations or challenges to doing the things that they have to do, like going to school, going to work, taking care of yourself, having a shower in the morning, getting enough sleep. Things can get in the way of doing the things that we are expected to be doing. Maybe it's being a parent, being a student, some of those important roles that we fill in our daily life. But it can also get in the way of doing the things that we want to be doing, the things that we enjoy, like being active, cooking, or participating in any of your hobbies or leisure activities. So as an OT, my perspective on being healthy is really making sure that we have a balance in doing all of those types of activities in our daily life. So making sure we're always getting a little bit of all of those areas, not just doing the things that we have to be doing, but also doing the things that we want to be doing. And then from a mental hygiene perspective, healthy is also taking care of our mental health as well as our physical health. So making sure that we have healthy habits, making sure that we're taking care of any unhelpful symptoms or stresses that we might be experiencing, and that we have healthy coping strategies for keeping our minds and our brains healthy and our emotions in check as well.
Same with Healing Health, and from a nursing perspective, my discipline can also kind of be encompassed into a little bit of everybody's. Nursing is really important in making sure that everyone kind of has a healthy balance of everything and assisting individuals in establishing overall baselines for all aspects of their life. So it makes it easier to establish when changes occur, when it may be time to kind of see your doctor, being able to identify new symptoms, new changes in any type of your status, whether it be mental, physical, emotional, any of that. So yeah.
Perfect. So we did get a number of questions on our social media feeds before starting today. So if you have any questions as we go, obviously don't hesitate to comment and we'll get to those. So I figured I'd address 2 of the questions as they're a bit more directed towards me. So Miriam asked about clicking as she's straightening her knee. Is this causing arthritis and what can she do about it? So generally when we're looking at clicking in the joints or whatever it might be, if there's no pain associated with it, generally you don't have to worry about it as much. There's a lot of myths and beliefs out there, but generally if something is not causing you pain at that moment when it happens, it's not something to worry about. There's a number of different reasons as to why it can happen, so I can't specify exactly why it's happening to your knee, Miriam, but understand that as long as you're not feeling any pain with it, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Thank you for your question. And next we have a question from Mike. So he is now walking to work, but as he gets to work, he is getting shin splints. So what can he do to get rid of them? So this is actually super common, especially in those who are beginning a running program. So if there's no underlying issue and it's more biomechanical, it's based on how you're moving your legs. So we all think we know how to walk properly, but often you can make slight adjustments that can be much more efficient for your body. So as you're walking to work, try to think about lifting up from your hip. So you're lifting your leg from your hip as you move forward, rather than pulling up from your toes and lifting your foot with your ankle. So if you always pull up with your foot to lift the ankle to clear the ground, to take that step forward, then you are overusing a muscle in your shin, which is not meant to be overused in that way, and that will cause some pain and discomfort. So our hips are big muscles, they're strong, it's a strong joint, it wants to work hard, so let it. So you think about lifting those legs up from the hip as you take that stride, and that should alleviate some of the tension in your shin. If that doesn't help, you can always email me, ben@thisishelpful.ca, and we can try to think of another way of helping those. But thank you very much for that question. We'll get to some other questions in a bit, but we thought we would go through exactly what health means to us. I guess I should also say, obviously, our fourth pillar is essential eating. We forgot about Lauren. She is not here, but healthy eating has a big role in health as well, whether it's for energy, whether it's just for feeling good, whether it's for chronic condition management. Eating, what we put into our bodies will affect our bodies, right? Whatever you put into it is going to have a role into how you're feeling. So ensuring that you do have a proper diet that's right for you. There is no one size fits all when it comes to the proper diet. So ensuring that you're eating the foods that make you feel the best, essentially.
Yeah, and I think that just goes to show that the reason why we have these 4 pillars is because they're so interconnected. And at This Is Healthful, that's what our focus is on, is that your health and being healthy comes from taking care of all of those areas of your health. So like essential eating and eating right hits on your mental health, it hits on your healthy habits, it hits on physical activity. So they're all connected.
Yeah, and often people walk through our doors and they want to focus on one aspect of health. But as they become a member and they spend more time here, they realize that health is everything. It's so multifaceted. It's not just being more active. It's not just eating better. It's not just stress management. It's not just knowing how to take your medications. It's everything related to how you function every day. So that's a big focus, as Heather said, that we want to encapsulate all of your health rather than just that one specific area.
And even having that healthy balance between all the pillars is really important, because if you focus primarily on one dominant area, such as physical activity, and something happens where you can't do physical activity, whether there's an injury or whatever, and you don't have those other areas to kind of fall back on. So it's making sure that you kind of have that healthy balance so other things can kind of pick up the slack if one of those pillars gets affected for whatever reason.
Which is why I think we're fortunate and unique as a facility and a clinic in having so many different healthcare professionals and so many different disciplines under one roof. We've got different regulated and registered healthcare professionals that hit on all of those pillars of health, so you don't have to go somewhere else and find someone else that can answer some of your questions. We're all here for you already.
Exactly. So, what does health mean to us? So for me, as Heather had said a bunch of times, it's being able to do what you want. You know, you want to, whether that is continuing your employment, whether that's taking care of your kids, whether that's climbing Kilimanjaro, you know, you have a goal and you have a want and you want to do something. So to me, being healthy is being able to do that. It doesn't really come down to more than that to me. If your goal is physical, then you want to be physically active, and to me that would make you healthier. If your goal is to manage chronic condition, then incorporating mental health strategies, nutrition strategies, physical activity strategies, all those will play a role in helping you.
To me, being healthy means making sure I am getting a sense of meaning and purpose in my day-to-day life. So not just kind of going through my day and going through the motions of going to work, doing activities at home, really trying to find that sense of meaning and purpose and getting some satisfaction about what I'm doing in my daily life. So every once in a while I'll kind of reflect on that and think, am I satisfied with my day as it is? And if I'm not, or if the answer is ever no, then I kind of evaluate and think about what do I need to do a little bit differently so that I can feel like I have that balance, but that I'm also getting a sense of satisfaction from that balance.
Mine's very similar to Heather. So health to me is just having a healthy balance, having an overall sense of happiness, sense of accomplishment, and just being kind of overall, always having something to work towards, or having some sort of goal that I'm trying to meet, and always having that inner challenge that I'm always trying to progress and move things a little bit further.
All right, so we'll get back to, I think we got 3 more questions, and they're all Lisa's, so I'll pass it on to her.
You.
Tristan wrote, I've started taking a new medication for allergies and to reduce inflammation in my nose from my allergies. Avamis and Papol, I'll probably pronounce those wrong.
Okay.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Good.
Specific.
But since taking it, I have been sleeping terribly. Is this because of the medication, or should I look for other causes?
Good question. So it's very possible it could be the nasal spray. So ephedrine is a fairly common ingredient in a lot of nasal sprays, and ephedrine acts as a stimulant. So it essentially mimics kind of an upper. So if you're taking the nasal spray either too often and you're kind of feeling jittery and anxious, or if you're taking it too close before bed, it may affect your sleep patterns. So in terms of trying to find something else, you can try and find like an all-natural, kind of like a saline rinse to help open the nasal passages, or trying to find one that's over the counter that doesn't have the ephedrine. And again, if you're still having kind of problems with the sleep despite changing out the ephedrine, feel free to shoot me an email and we can discuss things a little bit further. Good question.
Perfect. Thank you, Lisa. Next, from Steph, she wrote, I have been taking naproxen for my tension headaches, but it does nothing. Is there something else I can take or do to get rid of these headaches?
Okay, also a good question. So naproxen is an anti-inflammatory. And so if the muscle soreness that you're experiencing is being caused by inflammation, then the naproxen would be effective. But if your muscle soreness is not being caused by inflammation, then the naproxen may not be doing anything. So if it's caused by muscle tension, you can start looking at certain stretches to help take away any tension that you're experiencing in the neck. So that's probably something Ben could probably give you some stretches to recommend. You can even try taking an Epsom salt bath, so anywhere from about 2 cups in a bath and soak for 20 minutes. The Epsom salt actually, the magnesium sulfate in the Epsom salts actually helps withdraw lactic acid out of the body that can be contributing to any type of muscle stiffness, so that may also be beneficial. And even just certain, if you ever use essential oils and stuff like that, things that can promote. But again, if the naproxen is not caused by inflammation, that would be the reason it's not doing anything. But there are other alternatives. So if none of those, you want to discuss that further, please feel free to shoot me an email and I'll be more than happy to help.
Yeah, and stretches, and you can also find something like a Theracane potentially, something that can help to massage the tissue.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always to massage ourselves easily, but there are devices out there that can help potentially release a knot, a tension within whatever muscle may be causing you the trouble, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Fair to say.
Absolutely.
And then we have a question from Melissa. I just had surgery on Monday to remove the polyps in my nose. Is there a chance they can come back?
There is a chance that they can come back, depending on, they get the root. They don't always come back, but there is a low risk of them recurring. I've had patients in the past who've got them removed and they've never experienced them again, and unfortunately I've had some there where they did come back. The ones that did come back didn't necessarily get as large as they did previously, so hopefully you're of the percentage that does not get them to come back.
Absolutely. So thank you everyone for those questions. If any more, you have any more as we go, please comment and we'd be happy to answer them for you. So we thought we'd move on and discuss what we do ourselves to be healthy. So for me, exercise is an important part of my day. I try to incorporate every day something, at least no matter how long it is or how much time I have, I try to incorporate something, as I always feel better after performing an activity of sorts. So again, it doesn't have to be at the gym for the hour. I might try to go for a walk, a hike, doing some yoga, some mobility work, whatever it might be. You always feel better after you move, most definitely. And for me, obviously trying to eat right. I know, I think since first year university, I'm probably went on my own weight loss journey as well, losing probably about 40 pounds consistently, 40 or 50 pounds now. And to me, it was just changing my diet, eating healthy in terms of minimizing processed foods, eating obviously lots of fruit and vegetables, lean meats, etc. And what I found cool about that journey too was at the beginning of my master's, I was super allergic to cats. and I'd go to my friend's house and stuff up instantly. And then that's about 8 months later, I revamped my diet, and then I ended up living in the house with that cat, and I had no issues. So to me, whether it's actually the effect, I don't know, but the biggest thing I changed in between in those 8 months was my diet, and I still to this day, and this was 10 years ago, my allergies have been a fraction of what they used to be, and that I think I attribute to changing my diet.
Now you have a cat.
Now I have a cat, and I can breathe, so it's pretty good. Best of both worlds.
Great.
Yeah. How about you, Heather?
So what I do to be healthy, pretty similar to Ben. I like being active. I like finding ways to be outside to be active, in particular running, hiking, biking, just going for a walk, but finding some way to get outside and to be active. I also really enjoy cooking and eating different types of food, but I get a lot of pleasure and satisfaction from trying to find ways to make healthy food tasty and find ways to eat healthy but still be able to be eating what I want to be eating and get that enjoyment from food as well.
Lauren would approve.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing that I do is I always try and make sure I have something on the go that's just for myself, that I do for my own pleasure and enjoyment, whether it's having a novel that I'm reading at home or working on some kind of project, like I knit sometimes. So just making sure I always have something that I'm doing that's just for me, just because I want to be doing it, not because I have to be doing it.
Personally myself, so I've been on a weight loss journey for about the last 4 years. I've lost about 85 pounds in those 4 years. It's an ongoing process, so I'm always trying to find new forms of physical activity that I enjoy. Currently, I regularly do actually the circuit here, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I also have 3 dogs at home, so they keep me extremely busy. They demand exercise even if I don't want to. So that's always kind of that form of accountability. And it's just always, again, just finding something that you enjoy doing and making sure that you enjoy it.
I'll just add too that being healthy is also about your environment. So the people that you're and your environment's more than just your physical environment too. So of course it's important to have healthy physical environments, like making sure your home is clean and safe. But the people that are around you too, like making sure you're in healthy relationships or that you have a good support network around you. That's what goes into being healthy and staying healthy as well.
Lots of aspects of health, for sure. It's never just one thing to consider. It's always multiple.
That's why we're awesome.
That's why I make a great team.
Yeah.
All right. So to slowly wrap up, I think it would be interesting to discuss what health is not, and give a few examples. There's no quick fix. You know, if there's an aspect of health that you're really trying to improve, it's not going to change overnight. As much as you want it to, as much as we want it to, it's not something, or nobody would have any health concerns, right? It does take time, it does take effort, and you do have to put the time and effort in. So whether it's to something, whatever your health and fitness goal might be, it's about making the right path, scheduling it properly, creating a plan that's right for you. There's a lot of fads and gimmicks. There's a lot of, whether it's physical activity related or nutrition related, lots of buzzwords out there these days, and what works for someone else may not work for you. So it's really about finding what works best for you and implementing it as a lifestyle rather than as just a simple period of time.
Yeah, and I like kind of building off of what Ben said about it not being a quick fix. I work with a lot of people when they're kind of just feeling stuck and like they're not making any progress in whatever aspect of their life they're trying to work on. And I always like to explain to people, like, it took you a long time to get to that point where you're feeling really stuck, so it's going to take a long time to get out of it, and it's going to take work too. And something that I like to reflect on to the team or to other people that we're working with is that when we're working with an individual on their health journey, if it ever feels like we're working harder than the person is, then something's not working right? It's the individual on the health journey that has to be putting in most of the work and the effort, and we're just there to guide you and support you and give you some tools and resources along the way. But when it feels like we're putting in way more work and effort than the people that we're supporting, then there's a bit of a disconnect there and something's not right.
And kind of like I touched on earlier, health is not just one thing. It's not just one particular area. It's having that healthy balance of everything that complements each other, so you can kind of pick up in other areas if other areas gets affected. It's just not that one primary area. So it's having that healthy balance of everything.
And I think what we pride ourselves as a team as well is there are so many of those fads and gimmicks and different articles out there that maybe aren't being published by the most reputable sources. So our job is to sift through all that information and make sure that we're giving our clients, our members, the most evidence-based, the most up-to-date information. So if people are unsure about what these different trends or fads or whatever it might be is, they can come to us, and our job, if we don't know the answer, our job is to figure out how to find the answer.
Exactly. Yep.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I don't see any other questions at the moment, so thank you everyone
Thanks.
For tuning in. If you ever have any other questions, never hesitate to contact any of us, or our general line is info@thisishelpful.ca or 613-828-8586. We'll be back in 2 weeks, where I believe I will be doing a video with Lauren, the dietitian, about, as that poster says, about being the hero of your health. You know, it's up to you in the end, but we're here to help. Anyways, thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.